All right, everybody. Welcome back for our next edition of our Explore More podcast here at Outdoor Sylvania Community Parks. I am your host, John Page, and I am so happy to be joined by David Topoleski, who is our community service manager. He is here to talk about what we have going on here in the park, not only about just his position, about his role, what he does here at the park, but he is the person when you guys call and you're asking about rentals, he is the person that handles those. And so we're going to talk to him about that. But also, is probably as big as your biggest task that's going on right now in the springtime is what?
It's seasonal hiring.
So I think let's talk about that first. And let's talk about your seasonal hiring and the importance of seasonal hire, why you seasonal hire, why we only seasonal hire, what we're looking for and how we can reach out to the community and how the community can reach out to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, John. Pleasure to be here. I'm David Topoleski, as John mentioned. I'm the Community Services Manager for Outdoor Sylvania Community Parks. My three roles here at the park system is I'm the Manager of Human Resources, take care of payroll for the park system. We've got at the top, about 35 employees that work with us throughout the year. And then I am the coordinator of our rental facilities. And that includes our wonderful Niederhauser Community Hall, where we're reporting from today. And then we have 3 open air shelters, 2 here at Olander and 1 at our Fossil Park. As far as hiring goes, it's a year-round process. But for right now, one of our big pushes when we get here to March and April is to hire horticulture assistants, our park technicians, our boat attendants, and our certified lifeguards. We also do have some year-round positions that we post for, including our waterfront supervisor. We just hired for our head of facilities, which is a new position after decades of our tenured David Woodcock in that position. And so it's a great pleasure to work throughout the community. We post with the local schools, with Lourdes, University of Toledo, Bowling Green. We work with Ohio Means Jobs, the Sylvania Chamber. And then for the park positions that are year-round, we tend to post with Ohio Parks and Recreation Association, which goes out statewide. And so it's a very busy season. I love working with all our applicants. And when we hire folks on, make sure that they have the best of training here. We get them ready to give incredible customer service and make sure everyone's safe at our parks, especially here at Olander, where we have our wonderful 30-acre lake.
Yes, as David did say, we are broadcasting today from inside the Niederhauser Community Hall. We were hoping to be broadcasting outside of the hall, but as you all know, that in the past couple of days, it went from 70 degrees down to whatever. So we've made our last fire here in the hall. We're going to give you guys a chance to take a look and see what we have here. But David, more importantly, as we head into spring and we're doing the hiring, what are you looking for? I mean, what positions are key and vital that you're looking for right now? And what are the things that people need to do when they apply? And what do they need to have when they apply for positions here? You mentioned boat techs, you mentioned park techs and boat. You mentioned swim. I think the thing is, if you can start off with swim, that would probably what I would presume to be the position that you're looking for the most right now.
Yeah, lifeguards are always a very important position. They're certified. They're real heroes because they're making sure that people have a great experience with water, that they can learn how to swim better, continually, especially for children, but also that anytime you're in a body of water that is not a pool, it's very important. We do waterfront training for our lifeguards. And again, that certification means that when you come and swim on our beach, you're safe. And we have people who are trained to make sure that they come and get you and, protect you if anything would go wrong in the water. So, again, just to give some perspective on our hiring that we do year round, we have all kinds of positions here. The park technician, the horticulture assistants are very vital to all of our 5/6 parks and Outdoor Sylvania's, inventory. And then here at Olander, we start off, of course, with every last Saturday in April with the world famous trout derby that we have here at Olander Park. And that's when we first open our boat area for rental. As you may know, we have rowboats, we have 2- and 4-person paddle boats, we have single and double kayaks, and we have stand-up paddle boards. And so starting on weekends only on that Saturday, April 25th, after the derby concludes around 1 p.m., we'll open for boat. Boats typically go out at 11 a.m. Last one out by 6 p.m., back by 7 p.m. And then when we get to Memorial Day weekend, we hope that the water will be warm enough here, depends on the season. Then we open up both boat and our swim beach for the season. And then they're open for their full hours. For boat, that's 7 days a week. Again, 11 a.m. start time. Last boat's on at 6 p.m., back by 7. And then for our swim beach, Monday, Tuesdays, we're closed. Wednesday through Sunday, we're open, and hours vary. So please check our website at outdoorsylvania.com. But typically about noon to 6, noon to 7, we have hours, and we have a very beautiful swim beach here. It's well maintained. Our water is among the cleanest in the entire area. We have a beautiful lake here. And actually, that's kind of part of the reason we don't allow pets here either. Really keeps the lake clean. We don't have that runoff that other places might have. So we hire those, pretty much start taking applications in February and March, do our hiring in March and April, and then we really off to a bang come in April and May. So we have 5 or 6 parks that we hire for in our facilities department. We regularly hire as well for park technicians that are full-time. We have supervisors. We have an assistant manager of facilities that'll open soon. And then, as I mentioned, we just hired a facilities manager, hired that internally after a statewide search, and really excited about that. Our colleague, Dawson Howard.
So if I were looking for a position, how old, what is the age limitation? How old do you have to be to apply for a job here at the parks?
Yeah, sure. So with state of Ohio, age 15 with a worker's permit. That I work with parents and the school that they go to school with. Work with the principal there and other administrator to make sure that they're able to work with us. And after that, there is no age limit. We like to work with everybody. We can't wait to have a diverse slate of candidates, and we welcome people to come in to our office here at 6930 West Sylvania Avenue to our Callahan Administrative Office, right past Boat and before you get to the Niederhauser Hall. Also welcome you again. Can't say enough about all the great work that my colleague John here does for our website, for our social media. So www.outdoorsylvania.com/careers/rentals. But when you come into the front of the website, just go on to the menu in the top right corner and you'll see all of our links there. All the positions are posted there, so you can apply online. You can also print out a print application and bring that by if you'd like. And it's a great joy for me to lead human resources here. I'm sure we've all worked in certain places where you run from HR and not always seen as like the most wonderful people to work with, but we're telling you, look at John and me. We're pretty nice people. I'm asking you. We try our best with our fearless leader, Erica Burry, our executive director, who leads by example, who follows her values and treats us with such kindness and respect. We want people to run towards HR. We want them to run towards programming and marketing that John does for our system. And we're delighted to work with our staff, to include them, to make them feel valued here, and to send them away with additional skills and feeling really, bright about their careers moving forward. So yeah, please come in or hit up our website. You'll also see things posted on social media. You can contact me directly. I'm at 419-882-8313, extension 1000. And again, my name is David, and super glad to serve you or answer any questions you have about the park. As we talked about doing human resources and payroll, then we move into rentals. This Niederhauser Community Hall is a fantastic building. It's used for so many different things. We host birthday parties here. We host baby and wedding showers, weddings. We do graduation parties, very popular coming up this time of year, celebrations of life. And it's a really idyllic place to come, especially being, I think, the best view in Lucas County and beyond, having Lake Olander here and our beautiful covered porch and our stamped concrete deck. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
Can anybody rent?
Everyone and anyone. If you live in the Sylvania School District, you do get a discount, and then you pay a regular rate if you live outside the district. With that, you can book on our website. And I mentioned that website address. With that, we book 13 months in advance. And so I'll give you an example. We're very popular for graduation parties here.
Right.
And so on May 1st at 9 a.m., I will post June of 2027. And at 9:30 a.m. every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be gone.
Yeah.
And that's because not only do we have a gorgeous hall here and an idyllic location that everybody knows, right off Sylvania McCord, right off the expressway, but our rates are fantastic. I think we compete with everyone. We're a public park system, so we're really glad to provide an affordable place for people to have a great event. And with that said, the things that come with it, I feel like our white glove kind of service. Our park technicians are here to help with everyone. We have a hall monitor who is here with you to make sure your event goes well and that you leave safely. And on top of that, not only do we provide all the furniture that you'll need, but we have a full cleaning service, and that's top to bottom. That's tables, chairs, floors, bathrooms, kitchen, and trash and recycling. When your party's over, you take your decorations and your food and you say, goodbye, Olander.
Yeah, but no glitter.
No glitter or confetti.
No glitter. Yeah, so that's the thing too. And I do know, and ladies and gentlemen out there, I will sit there and say, yes, I'm an employee of the park, but I have been a consumer, and actually will be a consumer of the hall. It is it's second to none. And that's not just because I work here. It's just something that's just true. I mean, you have a great view out the windows, you have access to the park that people can walk, if boat is open, boats, you can rent boats, and if you're here in the summertime, the swim's open, you can swim. I think it's just, and yes, and everybody remember this, if you're here, the place is air conditioned, and that is important.
That's key.
That is so key. Cooling is key. There's beautiful patio lights, and I know that we will have some B-roll. We'll have some shots about that in this podcast, and so people will be able to see that as well. And I'm gonna halt David here for a second, because since you're sitting here talking about the Niederhauser Hall, I will sit there and tell you that as in our last podcast, we were talking about winter programs, and as we go into winter programs, we go into spring programs, and spring programs means pretty simple. Like at the end of the month, at the end of April, we will be very fortunate, and we are very happy to host the 34th annual Kids Trout Derby, presented with Jan's Netcraft. They are super excited to be part of this again. If you go onto by the time this gets published, registration is open. Just go to our website, www.outdoorsylvania.com/programs. And April brings probably one of my favorite things that we do, and that's opening up the Fossil Park digging pit. And man, David, well, I don't know what we can say about that. It's one of the coolest things that you're going to find to do here in the state of Ohio. And you're going to be able to find trilobites and brachiopods and other things from the Devonian period. I think the best thing about that is, David, is that it's free.
So great.
It's totally free.
Greatly located just across from Mayberry Shopping Center off Centennial near Sylvania Metamora. Like that, we have this gorgeous free park with open air shelter, which, by the way, Monday through Friday is free to use. Just give us a call. We'll make a reservation for you. That's an 80-person open air shelter that has 2 outlets. So you've got 4 plugs, got a 4-foot grill, beautiful bathrooms there. Even the Sylvania police loves to stop there. Best bathrooms in town. Between the digging pit with 300 million year old Devonian period fossils, and then obviously you've got all the climbing towers. So we've got the bouldering experience there, which is new to us in the last year. Please come and check that out. A fantastic area, walking trails there, including ones that walk back behind the water tower and head over to Bay Center Park. But fantastic facility, and usually mid-April to mid-October. Sometimes people ask why. You don't want to be down in that dig pit when it's rainy and muddy down there. It's a mess. Rocks aren't quite ready to go through. They're still cold and full of ice and stuff. And so when we do open it, John has had fantastic reception all the way to Cleveland, Ohio. We had a family that was visiting from Australia who went to see it. I've seen people there from all over Michigan who come for the day and sometimes overnight. I think it'd be worth mentioning with the geofencing, how we track folks that come into our parks by zip code. You've had people from pretty much all over the country not only come in, but stay overnight and make a whole experience of Fossil Park throughout the weekend.
They definitely do stay over the weekend, but they can make it a weekend. Some of the rock hound clubs around the Midwest and around the area, that's really important because it's some place where they don't find, the type of fossils they find at Fossil. And so, I think it's a great way. It's a great way to, if you have a Saturday or Sunday, your kids are like, let's get out the house, and you say, hey, we'll take a road trip and we'll go over to Fossil Park. And, it's not it. And like I said, it's free. And, there's cool things around, there are other things to do around the park,
Absolutely.
So, and if you want to go for ice cream, go over the Mayberry area. If you want to go over for a meal, and go to Mayberry Cafe. That's, which is really good because neither one of us are Slim Jims. And so we can go over there and do that. So,
And how about we talk about just for a minute, if you're a teacher, if you're an educator, if you're a camp counselor, John and his colleagues, Lori and Zana, host dozens of field trips and groups that come. So call to be able to come out and bring your groups. If you live out of town and you're hearing this, John is very liberal about letting teachers and educators come in and put stuff in buckets and take it back to their school. To show kids in the classroom what fossils look like. But I just want to share one quick story. I was at a Sylvania Chamber meeting about 3 years ago. I was talking to Mayor Craig Stow, and he had mentioned to me he was on vacation down in the DC area, and he was visiting one of the Smithsonian's, one of the science museums, and he was over in the natural history area, and he looked and he saw this gorgeous example of a trilobite. And as he got closer and looked, guess what it said inside the case? It said Sylvania Fossil Park. Yep. And so I tell you what, to have a Devonian period 300 million year old fossil pit that people can come in for free and pick for free and take for free, very rare. But as a father of three who has lived across the street from Olander Park for almost 22 years, coming to things like the egg hunt, to the trout derby, to the Halloween hike, to Fossil Park, to Sylvan Prairie, and now as an adult for me, and now empty nester, to come and see the great programming that you have here, that you do with partners, including the Toledo Astronomical Association and the star parties at Sylvan Prairie.
Which is not
amazing.
Overlooked is because we'll be hosting our first star party at Sylvan Prairie Park at the North Parking Lot. You can start to arrive around 8:30, and we'll be there. We'll be there as long as the weather holds out. It is weather based, and so please look at our social media and look at our website and take a look at our Facebook or Instagram page, and we definitely will post out how or what the weather is for that. And my friends, it's a free event. I mean, those guys love to come out to the park to do what they want to do and show you things they want to show you. The spring sky is a beautiful sky, so plan to come out for that. And then we move program wise. We'll talk about this at our next. Here's the tease for our next podcast. Is that we'll talk about as we in April and begin May. We have a full feature of activities going on from anywhere from summer market to our summer concerts, and David is going to be up to his ears because David, I mean, not only do you have this beautiful facility in which we rent out, but we have two other facilities here in Olander, another facility that we have over at Fossil that we rent out. And can you tell everybody about the shelter house?
Yeah, of course. So we talked a little bit about Fossil Park and open air shelter there, but in addition to Niederhauser Community Hall here, which accommodations for about 130 people here, not to mention the outside amenities that, like John said, you'll see some pictures or video of later. We have two open air shelters here. Open air shelter 1, when you come into Olander Park and take a left and go past our swim beach, you'll find an 80-person shelter there. Same thing, 2 outlets. So you have 4 plugs, you have a 4-foot grill, and then 100 feet down from there is our open air shelter 2, basically a sister of the open air shelter 1, and another great way to recreate, a very affordable way to do that during the week and weekend. And so again, we ask that you give us a call or log on to our website, take a look. If you're within about 4 to 6 weeks of needing something, please give us a call. You won't necessarily be able to do that on our website because we need to plan, especially for the hall here.
Right.
We have an external cleaner. We hire and schedule people to be here in the hall after hours to make sure that people can have those services here. So please give us a call for that. But yeah, so many great things. John was a pivotal person, and Erica coming to staff or the management staff that we have the pleasure to serve on and say, hey, the farmers market at the time in Sylvania needs to find a new location. What do you think about bringing it here? And as much as we have several roles that we already take care of, John was saying, yes, this is an outstanding opportunity to bring people to Olander Park, to show them all the assets we have here and let them enjoy a great Tuesday evening here. We have the vendors, we have the food trucks, we have great activities for kids with amazing athletes and music. And it's something where, my experience is I love markets and farmers markets, but a lot of times you make your way through the vendors and you get back in the car and you leave. And when you come here, you got the one 5-mile walking trail. You can fish, you can eat, you can hang out at a picnic table, you can kick a ball or throw a frisbee. You can really enjoy the park here. This week, John and all of our colleagues have enjoyed seeing loons, bald eagles, graves, all kinds of different birds that are coming through. It's just a fantastic place to recreate, but also to spend time with family and friends. And so we have these wonderful facilities. They're all for the taking. Again, they're very affordably priced. And we ask that you give us a call or check out our website at outdoorsylvania.com. And just a real pleasure. Like I said, I've lived across the street for almost 22 years. All three of my kids went through Sylvania schools. And so it is such a pleasure to be a part of this park system, but to see the way that people enjoy it. I also love seeing folks from all over, not only Northwest Ohio, all over the state, but all over the world come in. One of my genuine pleasures is I had a couple who was traveling the world and they had a child, but they didn't have the opportunity to kind of stop what they were doing to have like a baptism or some sort of welcoming event for their child at an early age. And so they planned something when their son was about 10 months old. They had come here to Sylvania. And when they planned that party, John, the people who came in from their family, it was their first time in the United States. Oh, that's cool. It was the first time in Sylvania. And this was their impression of what we offer in our community and our country. And it was such a joy to have people come in and recreate and use our facility here and have such a great time. Get a lot of just fans who are just crazy about the hall. Also have people that walk this park for the last 2 decades and don't even know it's here. So don't even understand that the open air shelters are here for rental. So please stop in. We're really nice here in the office. We tend to have a lot of food, so we can feed you. But we're excited to have you come by and talk to staff and get to know us and to recreate at our parks. And so it's kind of a full package here. But for the excitement that I have between being able to help be involved with hiring and training and securing people for the park system and do such a great job here and be our colleagues, but also help people come and have a great event here. We can host all kinds of different events. And honestly, we do a lot of things with nonprofits, with other groups, with businesses. And so we can host all kinds of events here. We do nonprofit walks. John is very involved with the Sylvania Area Family Services Hot Cocoa Run each year,
which takes place here at the
end of February. And then we also, of course, host a triathlon, which in some cases has been the state championship, not only for adults, but for high schoolers. And so working with Sylvania Recreation and Toledo Run and other groups, it's fantastic to be able to host the triathlon here and do open swims each week here at the park as well. So it's if you want to recreate, if you want to have some fun, come see us at the Outdoor Sylvania Community Parks.
Yeah. Listen, everybody, the weather is changing, and as our fire behind us is dying, and so is our time. And so the weather's changing, and it's time for everybody to get out and explore more. So come to your parks, come to your Sylvania Outdoor Sylvania Community Parks and take some time out and explore more. And we look forward to, we'll talk to you again next month.
Thanks so much.